Welcome one, welcome all, welcome to another exciting episode of Veni, Vidi, Vici. I am Bridger, and today we are going to dive back in. Things are kind of problematic for us right now. We've managed to somewhat achieve a bit of our goal here so far against the Ptolemaic Empire. However, we are running into budgetary issues. If we want to build another large fleet that can deal with the Egyptians, it's going to cost us. We just don't have that much right now. At the same time, we're trying to consolidate our situation here with the Saxons and the Marcomanni. I'd like to make just a single faction that owns this area here. That's my client state. But in order to do that, I think... our relationship is probably not high enough with the Marcomanni. Is that it? What's our current relationship with them? 49. So we could offer a gift, which would be 410 money. Let's do that. Make them like us a little more. Let's double check and remember who we're actually... Oh, that's right. The Cimbri went to war with us for some stupid reason. We don't know why. We have control of all of the provinces we want. We were going to give Germania Inferior and Germania Magna and Botvia to our client state to run those three. And then maybe absorb them eventually, but that seems like a decent situation to try to get going. But in order to fix this money situation, we've got to run our society a little bit more efficiently. And to that end... I'm looking for, there we go, that's a plains area. So what we need to do is properly reorganize our economy. So this province has a total of 6 regions. And they come in 1, 2, 3 plains, 2 hills, 3 hills. Okay, so now what we've got to do is figure out how we're going to organize these so that they give us the best output. In the past, we've basically just been balancing everything. This one, however, what we need to do is look at the percent bonuses, right? This gives 13% increase in food here. This one gives 25% increase to food. And this one gives no increase to food. So I think what we need to consider is this area and this area could be our breadbasket. We try to make sure they have all the food-related structures that they need. What do they not need? Well, this one also has a lot of commerce buildings, and I've kind of built this up as a commerce mega area. By mistake, a little bit. So to that end, let's take a look. What other food-based buildings could we get here? Seed storage, granary, and mill are all things we could get here. So we're going to cycle this and look for better food-related buildings for here. This definitely needs even more food-related buildings. And what that means is one of these needs to be like our infrastructure capital. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infrastructure. Ah, this appears to be our infrastructure capital. It's even got 40% from structures. And nobody else even seems to have any percent from structures. These guys do here. But what that means is this should be focusing incredibly heavily on food and infrastructure, not on money and culture. Now, culture was good, and it's, we still get the national modifier from, we still built a lot of structures in this area that benefit. So these are going to be more balanced than other areas that I might make more extreme, but because the history has been balanced. Let's see, this one has 15% from structures, 37%. We didn't really look at money. How does money go in here? This is 111%. So what we should do is put a lot into money here. Like, this should be the money capital. Now, obviously, we still have to leave slaves where they are, but we should at least do that because they, each citizen makes so much money compared to food and other things they could make in this province specifically. And I think here, any money we make is boosted by that percent bonus, which means yellow structures just compound in how good they are. But the Potter's Workshop normally gives around 5. So this 10 is not as good as it looks. So let's cycle this looking for a better yellow building to build here. Or potentially a better purple building. Because, this is quite good on our culture output as well. 15%, 111, 25%. And then the food, there's nothing special about the food here. So let's shift that over to infrastructure, which does have some benefit. And then we need to make sure that we're getting the places that do have incredible food production, which was, I think, this guy here, 25% and 25%. These two definitely need to have lots and lots of people doing food and infrastructure. So this one is set with some clear monetary goals. What's up here? This guy, actually for a hill province, or mountain province? For a mountain province, this still has a lot of food modifiers. Infrastructure, not a lot of money modifiers. And the culture is okay. So let's flip this around and make this generate a lot more food. And let's see if we can get more food modifiers. In fact, this is the last agriculture building we can build here. So maybe that's not... I mean, the mountain doesn't have a lot of those percent food bonuses. That's the problem, right? I might build this just because it's going to give us decent money. I don't think this mountain area is going to make a very good food base. Now, the Salt House gives us a little more food and health, which is important. But it's only a level 1 building. We've built a lot of the better health buildings here. And our growth is pretty fast. But, I will build the trading tents here specifically because I need the money. Because there's not another... Well, is there... Actually, you know what? Builder's Hall. This mountain area can be another infrastructure area. It already has... No, it doesn't have that. I don't want to focus on that. I think we've got to focus on culture in this area. This mountain province can focus on culture. 30% food modifiers from structures is actually quite good. So we'll leave some of the population there. But we have no significant modifiers for infrastructure, despite the fact that we have quite a bit of it here. So we're going to bring some of that down here. So now we've clearly made this 37% from structures. Is not a lot of money. Money can go a lot higher than 37. What that suggests to me is we need to find the things that are boosting our commerce, if there are any. See, Crafter District you don't need to get rid of because it doesn't cost a slot. Ah, the Usurer. Yeah, I don't think we need that many people on money here. We're going to move them over to culture. Alright, because we have two provinces that really should have big focuses on money. We already found this is one of them. This is another. And what we need is much better options for increasing their commerce. So that's why we're cycling this one. But this is also food production. So this is a commerce and food. And yeah, we've got good culture as well in this area. But primarily we want this to give us money and food. And this would be our other food-based outcome. Now the blockade screws over our The harbor region is blockaded. Won't provide any production or seed resist bonus. Okay. This is our other infrastructure area, right? We should try to make at least one of these areas a major infrastructure area, and that seems like a good place to do it. Yeah, this is a good place to build more infrastructure when we get the opportunity. Oddly enough, we're not going to get the opportunity for a very long time. All right. I don't know how well... Yeah, there we go. That's what we want to do. And that way, what we'll do here is every time we come to look at these areas and see what should we build here, we can go, oh, infrastructure is our primary thought here. And here we go, oh, it's food and money. And here it's food and infrastructure. And here it's infrastructure and culture. That's what we're trying to devise here. Is make it clear, because there's so many areas. I can't remember which one I had planned for which, except for a very few specific that I thought of. This was going to be a money area originally. This one turned into a money area by accident. And so this one's going to be our cultural zone for the area. So that's what we're going to keep working on. One province at a time. We did this one here. We sorted it out. Now we're going to move on. This one, by the way, is just a massive everything province. It's got such a high population. Whatever. So, our fleets are back from a successful operation against a weak Ptolemaic fleet. Here's our strong fleet. Yes? Yes. So there's supposed to be a way to make sure your fleets escort... yeah, they can form into the same sort of army, I think. So let's have everybody join into an army here. Oh, actually, this is the place we want to be, isn't it? Hang on. There. And we want these guys to also form up with that. Theoretically, then, I think from here, from Euboea, we can go across in one turn rather than doing it from Athens, which is 2 turns. So that's the plan. These guys are probably going to do the same thing. In fact, I think 1, 2, 3. Whereas this is 1, 2, 3. It's the same, isn't it? But Euboea has a better shipyard. That's why it can be crossed in a single turn. The main thing is they cannot be left out in the sea for a fleet to come and snap up. That can't be allowed. Now look at these tiny fleets coming around, sniffing at my coastal waters, blockading my stuff. That cannot stand. Interestingly, what do you know about the context? These are light warships, yeah? We're not going to catch them with heavy warships. Unless they want to get caught. But we're going to do that. We're going to build a fleet that's got 4, 4, and 4 to chase them down, I think. All right. We built a legion here because we wanted to build roads with it. So that's what it's going to do. Is this the area we can build in? Yes, we can start here, build here, and then here. And then we'll have a road network that almost makes it all the way over to Massalia. And we only need commerce buildings there for the purpose of building those roads. Okay, so we finished something here. This guy is going to be building regional roads. And then we've got to find a place for him to go after that, which doesn't yet have regional roads. Just north of us to here. That would be good. So we're getting the road network slowly coming together. Meanwhile, these guys can probably come and chill in a capital to cost us less money. This one seems good. Although the Gallic legions are in the wrong place. Let's send them back over here. Excuse me. And this capital should get roads. And it can get roads soon, once it finishes that third infrastructure building. All right. And then this is a regular Roman army. This is a Germanic Legion, so it's actually going to be stationed here in the middle. Okay. I think our armies are... Oh, that's right. We've got a small problem of a Germanic army threatening our... They might assault this. But if they do, they're in for a bad time. Even if the walls come down one level. Let's put a defensive general in here. Because even though the veterancy level goes down one step if you throw a general into the siege like that, it's still better, probably, to roll those 2 dice and have lower veterancy than the other way around. Okay. So we took a job on that. We are sieging this down, which is going to take a little bit. That's not really an army yet. Who are these guys? Oh, that's right. These guys are at war with the Egyptians, aren't they? Let's look at what Egypt's current situation is. Yeah, they're also at war with Pontus and Paphlagonia. And I don't care if they siege that down, because I want these areas specifically. That's my current goal. Now here is the start of an army. No, this is the remnants of the army we beat last time. But I don't want to chase them down. They'll probably just run away and merge with this army or merge with another army. I need to finish this siege now while I have the opportunity. These guys are going to come across and they can build limes here to help defend this area. This area is newly protected by limes. And we're building a garrison inside the walls. I don't know what their siege resist is. Okay. So I think we're good on armies. Bithynia didn't want to go to peace. Okay. This is the turn we took all those areas from the Saxons. We'll give it back in a second. Just chill. All right. Now, let's see about other situations. So we cycled here last time. This is an area that's got 25 huge. This is our huge infrastructure area. Not so much with the money, and yes, with the culture. So let's redistribute our money to the proper balance. There we go. And now let's make decisions with that in mind. Land reclamation is actually a good call no matter what. Newly conquered area. We could get some equipment built here. Or we could get some loyalty. We seem to be okay on loyalty regardless. That's kind of interesting. Why is the loyalty... Because Hellenic citizens just don't have a lot of unrest. That's very interesting. Even though they were just conquered, and they're occupied, and they're under pacification. For some reason, these typically don't happen at the same time, but that's the way it is, because we conquered and reconquered. There's not that many people here, and apparently they have some decent loyalty to begin with. Do any of these provide loyalty? No, there's no loyalty from building, so why are they so loyal? From welfare. From the culture output? Is that what that is, I think? Except that we're not producing any culture. Because these all subtract from culture. So I'm not sure what the welfare comes from. Does anybody know what the welfare comes from? Either way, I'm happy for it to be the way that it is. I think none of these are actually going to happen. So I'm going to wait and ignore that one. Up here, we have no food bonus. Yeah, okay, this is an infrastructure area. So let's consider strongly an infrastructure option, like a builder's guild. So within this province, this will be an infrastructure-focused area. What are the other areas here going to do for us? Here's a food area. Yeah, okay, so this is basically a food province, or food region inside the province. And this is also a food, little bit of infrastructure. No, that's national. One of these areas in this province we should turn into an economic piece, right? Maybe it's this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not great. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's not a lot of... This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this probably should be a major economic center. We're going to have to rejigger their focus here. A master blacksmith. Okay. That replaces a building, I assume. It's an upgrade to the blacksmith, or maybe it's not. But either way, we're going to take it. And then we're going to try to continue building economic things here. We'll hope to grow that a lot more. It's actually a pretty good area for that. It's got wine naturally in the area. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, only 5. The areas that have a lot of regions adjacent to them make the best centers of trade, because if you're importing a lot of regions there, then they can act as a bonus good in many areas adjacent. Maybe this area just isn't an economic powerhouse for us. That's fine. It can be cultural powerhouse instead. Anyway, we're not focused on that right now. Over here on the border, I probably want more red buildings. Or loyalty in this case. Let's cycle and look for better loyalty. We just took this over and it's got lots of problems. Well, we just retook it actually. We'll take green buildings when we can. When it makes sense. This is on the border with barbaric territory. I'm actually going to take the palisade ahead of everything else. Land expansion actually takes a long time. Is that better? Probably. Oh, hang on a tick. Which one was that? This one? What is this? Oh, an academy. It's an upgrade from a school. Significant decadence reduction. Costs a little bit of money, but it's also kind of rare to get something like that, so we'll take it. Amphitheater is an upgrade. Upgrades take slots that are already there, so I don't really mind. A government building with loyalty. This actually does not yet have a specialty, and it's going to be given away to somebody else anyway, so let's give them a builder's hall. Going to sell that later. Now this, I kind of want palisade here, because we found out apparently these guys can raid across the water. So we got to be extra careful with that and make sure that these Norman / Flemish settlements, I guess. Future Flemish. So coming back to this, we're going to skip that, and if that's the only one left, we're ready to go to the next turn. Alright, we've intercepted these guys before they could siege down the city, which is good, and I think we're going to crush them. Yeah. Maybe we can go fight the Cimbri now and force them to peace. Maybe with a humiliation? We'll see. All right, we're holding steady at 22. If we can do that, we'll be okay. We don't need to be in a golden age. If we're taking points away from Ptolemaic Egypt, but Parthia is actually creeping up on us now. Dang it. Ah, yeah, we sent a gift to the Marcomanni. Bithynia wants peace. Under what terms, Bithynia? We provide units? Fine, just stop sending your fleets out. Alright, so last turn we checked out Italia Inferior. Let's check out Italia Superior now. And see if we can't figure out what everything's best used for. So our capital has some decent food modifiers. No infrastructure, though. Like, the capital is very infrastructureless. We only built 2 infrastructure buildings in the entire capital. And our money situation, not too good. Our culture situation, very good on the other hand. So let's not worry about money in the capital. Even though we have all these cool things, doesn't increase our monetary outcome very much here. And it seems like maybe we need so more culture and loyalty is needed right now because of their size. So a sacred estate is probably a good idea, especially because it's not taking up a slot. But next time I'll look for a better... Okay, so we only have... This is why we've never built any other infrastructure buildings in the capital, because we have to take one of these crappy-ass options. A clay pit, wood cutting, or charcoal pile. I hate all of those because they provide so little infrastructure, but they're all stepping stones to better stuff. But at the same time, we don't need infrastructure in the capital. It can be spread around. We actually have a lot of people working here that don't need to be working on infrastructure. Our excess infrastructure in the area is 211. So let's see if we can't find where better infrastructure lies. 16%. No. Oh boy, we have no infrastructure. Here we go. Okay. This area at least has some infrastructure buildings, which really means that that's where we should be focusing things. Like this. Because that will help the whole region, and it will help Rome do this. Because you see, here they're producing 6, 6, or 8. Let's do that. And Etruria. How's Etruria? A little bit of infrastructure. $32. I feel like this is probably... Yeah. Yeah, so Pisinium should probably be our moneymaker, or Tiberius. Right now, neither of them have an option to build a building. I could get rid of something, but... I think I'm happy with the way they're set up right now, and we'll have to come back when we get better buildings. We could turn these into money structures, but I don't want to reorganize this based barely on a 32% modifier from structures. We know we can get much higher than that. We can also get much lower, though. So let's just make it clear that that's our priority in these areas. Albeit just barely. And culture, actually. Very good, too. In Pisinium. And here. Okay. So up here also includes... oh, that's the same thing. So this we're saying, yes, definitely that. Food actually isn't that strong. I don't think any of these areas have good food modifiers for the region, except the capital. 13% from structures. 5% from structures. Yeah, it's like Rome is our breadbasket for the whole flippin' region. Which is unfortunate, because they're also a cultural powerhouse. But that's okay. That's okay. So let's do this. Just really split Rome up. They're all about farms and culture. Money? What's that? We'll leave that to the other regions. And infrastructure? Pfft, we'll just ship in building blocks from other places. Okay. So that's this region basically reorganized a little bit. This is also an infrastructure area. And not so much a culture area. No regional modifiers for culture, so let's take that into account. There we go. That will help. Eternus. Not so much a food modifier either. I feel like we need another region here that does food, and it really should be Etruria or Pisinium. Etruria is actually kind of set up for that. So maybe the next thing Etruria builds should be food related. So we'll look into doing that when we get the opportunity. All right. We have a small fleet here. Light warships and Covis warships. They were built there because this one's blockaded, probably. So, ours is 36. We're going to put a leader in charge of it. Oh, God, these are all so bad. We need more of them military academies. So these are all our heavy... Oh, actually, some of our light warships were built over there, too. That's interesting. So we'll build these warships around there and make them come all the way around. And back this way. These guys probably don't want to come out and fight until the turn after when they get some of their veterancy back. That leader just sapped away their veterancy. Ah, here we go. Paved road and then move there. We have another guy over here that's building more stuff for us. Regional roads. And then where are they going to go after that? There was another place that needed roads nearby. It's going to be here. But those guys are already heading that way. So instead we're going to send the Germanic Legion. After they're done building the roads they have, they're going to go back to the capital here. The Amphitheater has been destroyed. Oh, they took it. Those bastards. We need a second army to help deal with this. Who took it? Oh, well, it's not well defended. That's right. This one is well defended. So we inflicted a few casualties against the defender, but it's not enough. We have to come strike at this army. The good news is this turn we're going to escort over the garrisons. So now it's all part of one fleet. It's all sailing over together. It's going to land here on the same turn. And the land forces will be used to just take control of these provinces that don't have any resistance. The main vanguard is going to keep mopping up enemy forces. That's the plan. Rule the world. You and me, anyway. In fact, we have one full army in here, plus some stragglers from the previous army. So the one full army will be used to conquer. The previous army will be used to garrison and hold the places that we take. All right. I think we're good. This army should just stay here. A, rest and recover, but also, in order to do that, they need loyalty. So they need to come here and just, hopefully, let this... Oh. Isn't this... No, this was the area that was just conquered. So they can chill where they are. That's fine. And actually, I think I'm going to build a Roman camp on these areas that border the enemy. And probably upgrade it to limes, to be honest. Just to make sure this is a strong enough border in case the Macedonians... And I think the Macedonians, actually... Isn't Dalmatia their... Oh, no. Dalmatia is Epirus's client state. Okay. But in case the Macedonians actually really consolidate power here and threaten to attack me while I'm busy elsewhere, I want this to be strong enough. I'm busy fighting and expanding elsewhere. That needs to be a defensive area. Population here has decreased because we fought a battle there. Pillaging occurred up here by these guys. Jerks. Okay. These keep forming nations. I don't want them to, but they keep doing it. Let's see what buildings we have available to us now. Money? No, we'll take the green. Now, a harbor's good for a bunch of reasons. Not least of which that I need to be able to build boats here in the future at some point, probably. Training ground will come up again. Let's get the theater now while we have the chance. And over here, this region is mostly an infrastructure region. So we build a builders guild and we bring some people around to actually do the infrastructure there. Good, good, yes. Now, we were cycling over here because we wanted to find better culture, and actually decadence reduction for this would be good too. A bank, however, would give massive commerce bonus, but we don't need it here. It's the wrong place. Just because it's rare to come up doesn't mean I should take it just because it's here, right? That doesn't make any sense. So instead, we'll take the Preceptor House to lower our decadence, because that can always take precedence over any specialization if decadence is becoming a problem. Here we determined that food is where we should be, but what food options could we build here? Shepherd's House is kind of meh. Orchard usually provides a lot more food. Oh, a Tribunal is a big decadence reduction and doesn't take a slot. Costs a little money, but it's worth it to get rid of that much decadence. That's like a 10 decadence reduction. So let's take that, and then we'll look at the food the next time around. Here, we've determined that this has to be, in part, a food area. So the Granary is probably our choice. Loyalty is kind of a problem. You know, this is also a money area. So the bank is also really good. And here's the difference. The Granary has like a 1 in 5 chance of popping up. And seed storage and mills are also very good for food. The bank, look at all these things. There's too many things. The bank is rare comparatively. So we're going to take the bank here, and the next time around, in 6 turns, we'll build some kind of better... Oh, actually, there's 2 slots there, so we could also build a better green one there. Ah, you're telling me this area has never even built training ground. That's unusual. Ah, so this area, we want better walls. Everything here is going to be military. It's got to be, as long as we're at war. Later, we can specialize it in the right way. Unfortunately, Lycia has emerged up here and taken one of the areas I wanted. That's okay, though. That's okay. Somehow, oh, Thracia is its own thing now. And Dacia's stuck over here. All right. This is going to be not mine soon, so have a large farm. And this area we cycled because we were looking for loyalty that wasn't bad loyalty. This is pretty bad loyalty. This is eventually going to be an infrastructure powerhouse. Certainly not a money powerhouse, and certainly we can take these and do this. But, yeah, let's put the Builder's Hall on the list there. Solid walls along the border. We do like that. %8 modifiers from structures. 12%. This could be a food center. It's a hill. But then again, everything over here is either a hill or a forest. And I think hills do better with food than forests do. That's my guess. So maybe preserved food store, or let's do seed storage. This isn't really going to be a money area. Maybe we make this our military area for the region. Usually that's the capital, though. But I think we want at least some military here. Actually, this can be the military area too, because in order to have a lot of good red buildings, you need to have at least 6 of them. So the capital can do that, but this area can do that too. We can have 2 areas in this dedicated to military, and that's okay. Ooh, actually, that had a cultural site on it. Yep, let's not miss that opportunity to convert as many people as we can. Ooh, a courthouse here would probably be a little bit higher probability. So we're slowly seeing, remember we had 0% ethnicity, no italic citizens anywhere over here. A lot of them were probably converted by those decisions, but now that there's some, the culture buildup here will eventually convert more of them. Street parlor. Some money. I do like money. And it will allow us access to Tier 3 cultural buildings. Apparently this is a food and cultural center. So let's move these around so we can see that as the main thing that it is. This could have a lot of things. It looks like the crafter district is going to be necessary. So I wonder where this 12% modifier from structures comes from. Must be one of these other non-commerce buildings giving the 12%. This is supposed to be a big military area. An arsenal is costing us equipment. It would cost us no equipment if we had lead and tin nearby. But what does it do? It produces weapons, armor and weaponsmiths, reduction in metal costs for building infantry. That I don't think is necessary. It's an upgrade, though, but it costs us more money and stuff than the other area did, than it would otherwise. It appears that, if anything, this is kind of a money place. So let's build the usurer here, because look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 areas around here. Should be decent as far as money is concerned. And it's right next to 2 areas that I think are also big money areas. So I'm going to try to turn this into a big money area. And the infrastructure here is non-existent, basically. We do want some culture, because if we keep that culture going to 5,000, we'll get another legacy point. This is part of the same province, but I don't know what kind of specialization we'll do here up in the mountains. We might build a physician house right now just to get the health bonus for faster growth. No major bonuses here. I haven't picked a set of structures yet. This is in a hill. Aqueduct could be the first way towards getting it to be a food-focused area. But are there better food-focused areas in this province? Yeah, there's much better areas for food focus. So instead, we could just build a regular farm just to get the farm income from a structure. Or we could get our third... Yeah, we could get our third culture building and kind of make this a cultural powerhouse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think this is going to be a center of trade either. It could be infrastructure. We have 3 of them. Yeah, so we'll make this infrastructure and culture and come back to it later. Okay, that's it for that. We've moved all of our military, I believe, given them all orders. So hopefully this plays out in our favor. Let's see. Everything's consolidating into the one area we have under our control. We can't lose that. We can't allow it to be conquered and go into unrest again. Oh, their army ran away. They bravely ran away. They started sieging it just to get me off of that other province. Those smart bastards. We slipped down 1 in the CDRs this round. All right. Hey, we got rid of the Bithynians. Yay. Aquitani, huh? Sure. We don't want to fight over there. Let's use this opportunity for more money. And we can sell some metal, too. Also for more money. Change our national qualifier. This is brand new. We've clung to the old ways and now clearly showing their limitations. We must change our civilization and our society to become something else, different and more in tune with the current world and its ordeals and demands. We will then show to the rest of the world the supremacy of our nation. Can't be triggered because some conditions are not met. We have to money equal to 5,000, so we'll get that next turn. What? Our elites are the ones leading us towards prospect. Ah, aristocratic. I think that's the qualifier we have right now. Aristocratic elite is what we have right now. Is a 3 and 10. Oh, I can't click on it anymore. Damn it, I wanted to see the details. That's mean. We'll get it next turn. I'll spend the money I get next turn, potentially. Each region with at least 1 health building gets a 5% bonus health for... Yeah, why not? It's free. Okay. Rome was raided by Dalmatia, but we easily repelled the... Yes, we did, because we built military up there. A new, decent defensive general was available. Oh, yeah, sure. I'll be sure to get that objective real soon. Wait a minute. Rhodus was already an objective for us. I don't know why it's telling us that's a new thing. All right, so this fleet, can we hunt that fleet? We'll try. And now, where's our Vanguard? Vanguard is here. It's going to go back, take this again, get the siege started again. Now, We've got 2 Roman armies here. Yeah, one is garrisoning, the other one's not. Now this Roman army is going to drop off some legions into the garrison. Specifically one of the legions that are weaker. Those 2 guys probably? Yeah. And maybe also 2 of the cataphracts. Okay? So we'll split them off and then merge them with the garrison. There we go. So this is a decently strong garrison when combined with the existing forces. We'll have to give them the defensive general that just became available. So if anybody tries to take this, there will be plenty of time to deal with them. So the Vanguard, and now we've got, we're going to rename this to Beachhead Garrison. And then this army will be not Vanguard 2, but Assault Assault 1. So the Vanguard is always our best possible army. Now we have an Assault army, which is designed for capturing things, which is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go take this back. Kind of want to go to war with Phrygia just to take those 2 as well, but you know, I don't need it. I don't need it just yet. We'll take this later. It'll be easy to get Lycia from Phrygia later. Now, this region could potentially also add to the garrison even further by building like 1 more force. It does have enough equipment to build more. So let's build 2 more auxilia. They don't cost more for each one we have, so having an extra 1 or 2 isn't so bad. We can split the garrison up to guard more areas in the near future. So that's the plan. Keep building auxilia to help use defending these regions nearby. We have another fleet. Do we want to get some of these heavy Corvus warships and send them over to this fleet? Like just 2? Split off and merge with this fleet? Although I can't actually click on it sometimes. Basically, anytime. There. Targeting Rome fleet. Excellent. I don't know why it went over there. That's just what it did. So this is going to be Heavy Fleet 1. Hello, Denzo! And this will be Aegean Defense Fleet. There we go. We're now getting some proper situations. Meanwhile, did these fleets meet each other? Or this is still the other fleet, isn't it? Yeah. So I've got 2 medium warships and 3 lights. And he's got, wow, he's got a lot more than me, but they're weaker and they don't have a leader. Still, I'm not interested in fighting that until these guys make it to the area. This army, ooh, not disband. No, not disband. Why can't they build paved roads here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They should be able to build paved roads here. Paved roads are here. Oh, there's no slot here. Ugh. Here there is, though. They can go build the paved road over here. We just need to not build something here right now. Actually, paved roads shouldn't cost a slot. It's green, so I don't know why. We might, yeah, but the green buildings still need a slot in order to build them, even if they don't cost one. It's kind of weird that way. All right. Armies are moving to where they need to be. This army is slowly recovering from its brush with the barbarians earlier. So, infrastructure. This we were going to make into our infrastructure powerhouse. But man, a clay pit does not do that, does it? It's awful. There are better things to do. So let's build a courthouse here, and then we'll change to something in the future. A theater district in every region is something that I strive to always have. So let's do that. On the border with the wilderness. We need high loyalty. Ooh. They're going to build the roads for free there. We could get a market or loyalty. Yeah, let's get the loyalty. If we're under 100, I really should prioritize loyalty just in case. Might be a little too worrisome. Math problem? I am from Connecticut, which is in the northeastern section of the United States. This area. 5% food, no buildings, 22%. So what does this region mean? What does it need? So here's a food region, which is actually not a great food region. This is the real food region right here. So we don't need food. Do we need infrastructure? Oh, we have a lot of places that could be infrastructure powerhouses, but this is really the one. Yeah. So let's fix that. What else is it going to be? Also going to be a cultural area. It's got to be, right? It's not going to be a money area. Not when it's not adjacent to anything else, really. So that's fine. But then what is this? Here or here? This is in a nice plain. Actually, a lot of these are plains. This is a plain. I didn't realize this was a plain. Okay, so the 5% bonus could be compounded upon. We could make this a breadbasket for the area. Don't really need to, but we could. So we can do this. Now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is also a commerce area. It's got to be. It's got to be a commerce area. And if it's going to be commerce, it's also culture right now? So maybe we look into another area for our food. I guess this is the province I'm realigning right now. So this could be food and infrastructure. Doesn't need to be food and infrastructure. This could be food and money. Okay, so that, food and money. This, culture, okay, good, good. This one, so we do have an infrastructure in at least one area here. This one's going to be adjacent to here, so it could be another money situation. Or no, we said this was going to be a money, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, one of these was going to be money. This one? Yeah, this is a money. Money! Money, 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 money. So that means things that are adjacent to it could also be money, because those adjacency bonuses really do stack up. All right, we'll keep the slaves working here, because obviously they have to. Okay, so now this is good, this is good, this is good, this is good, this is pretty good, yep. Okay, now we got to figure out what this part is going to be for the region. So what are we short on now, based on what we did? Probably infrastructure. So let's focus this as infrastructure and money. Now we know what everything in this province is going to be good for. So we did Italia Inferior, we did Italia Superior, and apparently now we did Aquitania. With that all in mind, we could build a usurer here because we know the commerce bonus of 15% is going to be worth it. And this is also good for commerce, but since the training ground could be upgraded to a major harbor. That's hard to come by, and that's a pretty good option for us. This will cost us a slot, though. It is a shipyard level 1, and I kind of want the ability to build boats along this, so let's do that. This doesn't really know what it is. So maybe we just get some basic loyalty infrastructure here. Does this know what it is? Yeah, this is apparently a food basket, even though it's a mountain area or a hill area. Really, this should be the bread basket for the whole area. Definitely. Doesn't need to build any money. Or infrastructure. This one's all about food, and we're going to make it that way in the near future. Food and culture, apparently. This, we're going to need more than one bread basket, though, so Septimania is also going to have to be a bread basket because the capital just doesn't have the capability for that. And yes, we've already got it set up as a bread basket. Fantastic. It's also apparently an infrastructure powerhouse and a cultural powerhouse. So we got to split it 3 ways here, unfortunately. That's the way we'll do this province. And what does that leave this province with? It's not money. Not really, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This could be actually a really good money province. So let's consider that for the future. All bonuses satisfied. Why does it cost us money? Because we're importing iron. And we would be importing iron from a non-proper area. Now we're getting the oration tribute, which gives us a little bit extra loyalty, and that's fine. There's plenty of ways for that to go. So this could also be a money hub. Bringing in pottery. Not the best. So we'll get a salt house. I don't think this can be a money hub. I think it's got to be infrastructure. And oddly enough, food. Like, the hills are still going to be okay with food here. So yeah. It's just not going to be a money hub. Not this one. It might still get some buildings that benefit from that, but it's not going to be. So the capital, we got to be very careful here. The capital only has 1 slot. What options could we have to build here? Stables, limes, armorer. Not many good military building options. We've actually built... We haven't built a crafter district here, so we're getting more options as far as that's concerned. Ideally, I think what we want here is a fair. Or even a coastal market wouldn't be bad. We need 1 more yellow building after this in order to build the paved roads here. Ooh, urban guards is a no from me, dog. A noble district would import marble to the area. Silk is already present. Gold and luxuries are not. It would give a good loyalty bonus, and the marble would benefit... I can't remember. There's a bunch of other buildings that benefit marble. I think we'll take it. No, I'm not happy with any of these, am I? Let's cycle. Up in these mountains, a wheel maker. Sure, this should probably be focused on infrastructure, this region. And, yep. Easy options, we'll take them when they come. Yep. An amphitheater upgrade to a theater. Always good. The capital could have a noble district. Ooh, sorry, the jewelry shop would be interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not a great option. I'm going to take the wheelmaker because we need to get at least 3 public works, infrastructure in general. Liguria has the first building option in a while that didn't have to be yellow in order to get its paved roads. But it can't build anything that takes a slot because we need to build the paved roads first. Oh, interesting. A bank option here. No. No, I don't think so. An archery range? Because it helps skirmisher cavalries, and we do train Cisalpine cavalry in this region, so let's do that. This area does not even have a palisade? Really? I'll build a tribunal first and come around for that, I hope. Loyalty isn't a problem down here. This is one of the ones we did redistribute, and it's supposed to be a food focus, even though it's a mountain. I don't think it's supposed to be a food focus at all. I don't think we redistributed this correctly. I think it's supposed to be culture and money here. And if it's culture and money, the weaver shop is where we're at. Or do we want to look for a commerce increasing building, like a trade center? It's going to take us a long time. I think that would do more than this 26 money. So let's cycle until we get a good commerce building. Or a good culture building there. Because that's not a good culture building. Meanwhile, on the coast, this is supposed to be all money all the time. And trading tents do go well with that. They go very well with that. But a plantation doesn't take a slot, so I have to take that first, I think. Ugh. Loyalty penalty of 8. Ugh. Oh, God, I think I have to take the noble district. This area actually does have a loyalty problem because it's so big. But 46 food is hard to pass up. We'll come back to loyalty here on the next pick. So this is money and food, and to a lesser extent, culture. I think we take the scriptorum. We've already got 35% and 80%. The only reason this has food, yeah, I've spread myself a little too thin on all this, but this is just a very large population center. It's going to have 3 specialties. That's all there is to it. Sorry, that's it. Boom. Yep, that's a good one. We'll get to 50,000 there pretty soon. Up here, this should not be a food specialty. Nor should it be a monetary specialty. Oh, this is all about infrastructure. And probably culture? Yeah. This is just a straight-up 2-piece infrastructure culture situation. And so in that case, a builder's guild seems like the best option. Now down here, this is not about the money. It's never been about the money. Produces wine, which is readily available. I mean, the wash house is okay. 8% seems kind of weak compared to the other options, like a physician house, but I think the physician house costs money. And the public bath gives decadence. So let's build the wash house here. This is one of the only potential bread baskets, but we'll come back to that province. We haven't sorted them all out yet. A builder's guild here. Well, we've already built, you know, what it is. One, two, three, four, five. Not the best. A temple for the conversion bonus isn't necessary. A weapon manufacturer for this region currently stores 234 in its stockpile. This doesn't add any more to the stockpile, but it does produce weapons, which isn't produced in that many areas. Except one right next door, so probably not. Ah, this is an infrastructure area. And money. Without green borders, I'm all confused. So this mountainous area obviously can't be a food capital. Could be infrastructure and culture. Yeah. So in that case, if it's infrastructure and culture, what kind of building do we want to build? Not a noble district. It doesn't need the loyalty that badly. I don't think woodcutting is a great option for this either. We could theoretically get tier 3 structures. Why aren't a builder's guild gets us sort of to there? We're going to cycle. Or we can take the health building. Health buildings are good for everyone all the time. So let's do that. Noble districts could keep popping up. I don't need your loyalty. There are better ways. Damn it. Jesus. Vindelicta is actually really good as a commerce potential. But I didn't build it that way, so it's not okay. That's okay. I don't really like any of these options. So how would we get health 6 and health bonus 8? Oh, okay. So a 6% bonus and then an 8% bonus on top of that, I guess. This is our red province. We got to think very carefully about getting anything other than red buildings here. But the roads will get us there. Okay, next turn. Very, very few turns going by today because I'm doing all of these restructurings. That's automatic. Yep. Our boats went searching for a fight and couldn't find one. Fell 2 more places. I'm trying to build culture. I'm trying. I built all those decadence lowering buildings. Epirus proposed a trade deal. Wow, they give me a lot of money for 4. That's a lot of money. I don't think my Sicilian slingers are that good, bro. But okay. So let's see what happened over here. They came back. 20 units weakened with a not very good defensive general. Then again, we don't have a very good offensive general, but our units aren't weakened. I believe we can take you. So we'll chase them out. The good news is, again, we have a very strong garrison, these two guys here. I mean, urban militia is not great, but the Italian foot are okay, and the urban militia count as skirmishers and have a ranged attack of 5, so that's still good. Meanwhile, we do have some decently strong frontline units. Especially the Auxilia, which is a little better on defense than our legions, potentially. All our legions need to spend a few turns in the capital getting stronger after this is over. Got to get that master armor smith to do his work. Meanwhile, we are going to continue to siege this down. 57 doesn't sound like a lot, but with 3 walls, that's, I think, a +3 or more onto the defender's advantage. And I don't want to take that risk. Yeah, they're all crappy urban militia, but even a defense 2 with an addition of 3 has a chance to beat us up pretty bad. Even if we win, you know, that's kind of a problem. So we'll get the walls down 1 level, they'll get weaker, and then we'll attack. We'll attack next turn. Ooh. We have an attacking general that's now available. A 2-0. And he's 24 years old. Alexander the Great personified. I'm going to take it. Everybody did get 1 lower level of veterancy, but I'll take the extra roll, I think. So this navy is probably going to have a hard time staying out here. Oh no, it's technically adjacent to here. Okay. That's good. And here, the only things I want to build here are defenses or things that give us more food production. Though we probably don't need it. Food store will help. Siege resist 3 is good for defense. And this navy, what's this navy gonna do? It's pretty well rebuilt. Oh, it's actually got a lot of Corvus heavy warships. Just keep it in reserve, ready to move over here should the time be needed. We can build a paved road here and then walk back over here with the intention of building paved roads here once a slot opens up in 7 turns. I could build back up a 3rd legion here and then use this to sneak it over. I think I'm going to do that. I have the money and metal income to do it. Assault Legion 2. Very expensive. 2 Auxilia just in case. And then we'll build some Cisalpine cavalry to go with it. And some cataphracts. So those will all meet in Rome. They can sit there for a few turns to get those defensive bonuses, and then we'll ship them over. Then we'll have 3 armies over here doing what they need to do. By the time we take a bunch of these yellow Ptolemaic areas, we can then demand this entire region. Also take Rhodes by that point, and then sue for peace, keeping those things. I think that's a good play. In the meantime, let's set up Cisalpania with our new economic system of focusing production. So, first let's look at food. Which of these 4 areas is best for food? 8%. 30%. Well, we have one winner already. Damn, this is basically good for everything except culture. I mean, it's still okay for culture. Okay, what about this here? 15% and 8%. So this is going to be our other food place and our other structure place. Jesus. So this, I'm still leaving some on money income here because 22% is still okay. No, I think we want to take all of these and put them down here because culture is clearly the other place we can go. We can build tier 3 culture buildings. We can't build tier 3 commerce buildings. To that end, we'll build a large warehouse here. 30% is good. We do have it widely spread in this area. But I think we've got it properly set up here. Priority, secondary priority, tertiary priority. And then over here, this doesn't need to be food. Like these two are the food, but we determined that this doesn't need food. What does it need? It doesn't need infrastructure. Money, baby, 45%. Let's keep that train rolling. And we definitely don't need anybody on infrastructure, so we can also... this doesn't have any percent culture benefits. It definitely should. So we'll need to look into that very soon. We have a lot of culture buildings to have no percent increases. So Potus should be a cultural area. Okay. So now we've done all the plains areas. This one, I think, we wanted to be a commerce area, and it failed. Like, we did not make it properly a commerce area, so it just isn't. It's also not an infrastructure area. Apparently it's a food area, like the marsh here is just good for food. Okay, I guess that's what we're doing. We're making so much food in these areas, it's insane. What about this? Infrastructure. And that's it. This is just an infrastructure area. Ugh. We need more percent bonuses in various places. I mean, we should be turning this into a commerce area. Really. And lastly, Taurania. We basically built nothing but infrastructure in Cisalpania. And apparently food. It really needs more cultural centers. So we'll make this a cultural center eventually. I feel like we have way too many infrastructure areas. Let's look at it from this perspective. We still have a lot of people on food everywhere. Why do we have so many people on food everywhere? Oh. Is this Amelia? No. I thought Venetia was the capital, or Potus was... Oh. Oh, down here. We forgot to look at this one. This one is actually our military hub. But apparently it is also a massive infrastructure project. Yeah. We just have too many infrastructure buildings. I mean, that's great in the future, but... Yeah. So now let's look. Is this supposed to be food? No, this isn't food. It's culture. Okay. This one does have the modifiers for food, and I think this one did too. 8%. Did I even organize this one? Did I just say this is going to be everything? Oh, there's a 30%. Yes, but this one, there we go. We have too much infrastructure, so we're going to abandon this and try to turn this into a monetary situation, which means what we need to do is tear down the Builders Guild here. We don't need it. Or we could tear down the wood cutting or the wheelmaker or the brickwork. The Builders Guild is actually costing us money. So yeah, let's tear this down. We'll turn this into food and money instead. Because we just have too much infrastructure. Now, why does Carnia have just a few guys on infrastructure? This one's tricky. Yeah, I don't think I think it should be food and I think it should be money and culture here, really. To that end, the warehouse can also go from here. All right, so now we look at the province and we see Atesis is super good on that. Aemilia, also super good on infrastructure. Liguria doesn't really need the infrastructure, does it? We could focus more on culture generation here. We have 2 provinces that have huge bonuses to infrastructure. Or is it 3? No, but this just didn't have anything else to do. So yeah, we'll use the 3. 3 big ones on infrastructure, 2 massive food producers, and then a lot of money and a lot of culture. All right, I think we've organized this pretty well. Even on places that don't have a lot of culture bonuses, I want some people there because the legacy bonuses you get are still worthwhile. So you want to spread that culture around because it gives you more victory points. You want to concentrate it on areas that have percent bonuses because that helps your CDR. But there's reasons to do both. Okay, so we've now organized, let's see, how many provinces have we organized? 1, 2, 3, 4 provinces. I think Transalpania is next. We did a little bit of organization there, but I don't know if we really finished it. We'll come back to that later. Meanwhile, let's check all the other buildings. This is our capital. We determined this was going to be a potentially good spot for money. We don't have any money buildings, but it could be good for that. Can be upgraded to a tools manufacturer. Yeah, that's a good thing to go. So let's see if we can't turn things around with this. And make it clear that's what we're going to prioritize in the future. Ooh, a palisade or a cultural site. I think I gotta get the cultural site first. Palisade will come back around, I'm sure. Huh. This is part of our Aquitaine area. We're going to continue to go down the money trail. Problem is, I think we want to try to switch for a better money option there. This has not been organized yet, so we can't use that, but we'll get the salt house. Ooh. So the capital here we cycled last time because we're looking for something yellow. Ooh, or an academy that can also help cycle because we still don't like the furnace, do we? Not a lot. This should be all about money. We don't have the cotton, and that's okay. But is this spinning mill better than any of the other possible yellows we could get right now? I think trading tents, trading post, I think those are all better. Oh, a preceptor house. Ugh, it's hard to say no to decadence reduction, even if we're focusing on specific things. I gotta do it. I gotta take the decadence reduction. Damn it. Always a tough choice. Always. Salt house is pretty easy choice. Land expansion, easy choice. This doesn't really have a problem with loyalty, but it might when I turn it over to the Saxons. Let's check the Marcomanni situation. Okay, we can absorb nation now. No! Actually, let's try again. We're absorbing you. Ooh, I need to give them a lot more money. I don't have that much money. Ugh, I can't absorb them yet then. Okay. Instead, let's take a look at the Saxons and where they are. So we're going to give the Saxons Germania, Mosellia, and Lupas. And that one there. But this is as far south as they go. So let's go to the Saxons. And we'll cede them a specific set of provinces. This one. What the hell? Oh, not province. Region. This one. This one. And this one. So we'll cede them this for now. Can you give us any money for that? No. I don't think. Apparently they can. What about more money? No. Let's just stick with the 680. Make them pay for it a little bit. Now up here we finished city walls. What buildings we've already got? It's a plains area. We'll build a ranch. This could be a farm. This is also a plains area. How many plains areas are up here? A lot, actually. Holy moly. Can't use that as an obvious option. This does need the loyalty, so we'll do that there. Okay. This is one of the areas that we were going to be. We never actually looked at this area. It's a money area, oddly enough. It's a money and a culture area. Would you have expected that? Now, how's this region for infrastructure? Very weak. Very, very weak. Do we even have... So we have two areas that are big on infrastructure in the entirety of the capital. Ah, well, here's part of the problem. Boom. That should have happened. All right, and the other place that's big on infrastructure should be really big on infrastructure, you know what I mean? Etruria is our only other place that's good on food. There. A abandon the Truria, the money place, for now. Let's put 1 and 1. There we go. Because they'll get a commerce boost with paved roads, I think. Yeah, they will. Okay. So that brings us back to here. And the problem here is we are short on infrastructure. I don't know why we have some infrastructure here. Piscinium. Does Piscinium need to be a food? I don't think it does. Should Etruria be our main food? These guys shouldn't be making any of that. There we go. And now there's one more place that had a few. Aternus down here. Yeah, that's better. Aternus should get infrastructure. Yeah, we do need a place that... Oh, no, but an academy? Son of a bitch. All right. We'll come back to the academy. The warehouse is needed in the capital now. We don't have enough infrastructure here. Which brings us back to this. Why does Tiberias have some infrastructure and some of everything? There we go. We need to be more specialized. 32% and 25%. So yeah, we shouldn't have more than 3 anytime, generally speaking. Which brings us back to Aternus, which is doing, yeah, a decent option. So here, infrastructure is not what we're doing. Instead, a trade port up here gives a big commerce bonus. Big commerce bonus. And a big trade range bonus. So yeah, this will turn this place into an actual moneymaker. Good. Good. Yes. The capital, which we have focused not enough on food here. Noble gardens for a huge culture bonus, but we're going to get the food. The food is apparently much more important in our capital, which can't quite feed itself very well. Harbor eventually upgrades to a bigger, better harbor for our money situation here. But I do believe this was our food producing area when we first started thinking about things. Now, we haven't reorganized Sicily at all. Sicily is just kind of a little bit of everything everywhere. Sewers doesn't use a slot. That's a pretty good upgrade for any major city. This is a newly conquered area. We absolutely want to focus on the Palisade, which is pretty quick to build. Okay. That was a long turn, but I think we made a lot of progress on reorganizing things to make everything much faster. Visually, we're going to be able to look at a province and say, oh, here's our, 4 areas that are focused on infrastructure. Here's our 3 areas, well, 3 areas that are focused on food. Right here, we've got 4 areas working on money. Which, why do we have anybody working on money here? Come on, me. Focus up. I know we have some money here. I know that percentage is hard to look at and not take advantage of, but it is. Okay. So, let's see what happens here. We don't know where the Ptolemaic fleet went, but I'm happy to just chill out near Rhodes with the main fleet, because I gotta escort our main army across it in the near future. Ah! Crap. Okay, that's a small fleet. We can do it. This is easy. They don't even have a general. Yeah! Sink them. Yeah, get them! Booyah! Oh. Apparently they don't flank all the way down the line. It's a draw? I don't know. That looked pretty clear to me, but I guess there's more ships to fight that are still at decent fighting capability. And because we didn't stay and we didn't target them, that ended the battle. Not too many people very talkative today. I've had zero chat except for one guy that drove by in the Twitch and said, "Hey, how's it going? Here's a math problem. Where are you from? Bye." He did call me bro twice. So that's cool. All right, building those Decadence reduction buildings seems to have helped us a little bit. We secured a trade deal. Sell metal. Yes, please. We need the money. Ooh, increased trade Achaemen. Crap, I was gonna wait. Oh, but I have no money. I gotta stop spending money. There's that other decision I have to do in the next 12 turns. But I don't know what it does until I get the 5,000 gold. Okay, so we said, yeah, we're going to breach this turn. It's time to assault. Meanwhile, our main army here is going to chase down this army, hopefully. And in the process begin the siege of Ephesus. (21 units to 20 units. Yeah, we're not going to be outflanked by these guys. And we've got better quality stuff, I guarantee. Here's an enemy fleet we can try chasing. I don't know if we'll catch them. They've got heavy warships in there. They'll be pretty slow. So let's hope we can get them. This fleet is going to come and just hang out here as a backup. In case this fleet needs to retreat, it'll have some cover. Oh, I forgot we had the army gathering in the capital. Here's the newly merged Roman fleet ready to come out and sink the remnants of this Egyptian fleet. This is italic. Is it 2 L's in italic? Fence fleet. I don't think there is. It's not a big fleet, but it's enough to chase away little fleets that are trying to mess with us. And blockade our stuff. Okay, I think our military strategy has been properly set up. Now let's see what buildings we can build everywhere. We need to make sure Transalpina is fully processed, and it is not processed. That's pretty clear just by looking at it. So let's first look. I think looked a little bit. There are 2 food areas. Do we need a third? Is the capital going to be a third? No. Well, maybe. Yeah, capital can be a third because we don't need this much infrastructure in the capital. All right. So the food is settled. Everybody else does not need to produce food. Except this. I guess this is also a food. Apparently, this hill is also a food. So we'll have four places for food. Everything else, no food. So that's good. The capital is pretty good. This apparently has modifiers for food. I don't need it there. Yeah, we're going to tear down the modifier food building, maybe, over here. Or do we just make this also food? Now what we need to do is find some infrastructure centers, because I don't think we have any in this whole province. We need to build some, for sure. Here we go. Here's one. And way too much food. But again, we're just going to do this. And actually, the culture's okay here. But there's some infrastructure. Here's some more infrastructure. So let's, boom, do that. That's going to help us a lot. This region really needed the reorganization. So up here, we didn't know what we needed. We still don't, really. I mean, I guess everybody here's going to money. We have no slaves here? Oh, we do have slaves here. We should leave those on infrastructure. Hang on. Why would it only give +2 food? Why would it only give 2 food? Holy crap. Is that what I've been missing? The base productivity is different based on different types of regions? This is a 15% modifier for food. That does 2. So this is also alpine. This is mountain. Woods is 6. Plains, well, can't really see that, is 7. Now that's with food bonuses, I think, actually. Let's find an area that doesn't have food bonuses. It's still 6. But is every... That's it! I finally found it! I knew it! I knew it, there was a way. Okay. I've been looking for a long time to try to figure out why mountains, which should not be good for food, appear to have no major disadvantages for food. It's the base number that's different. I couldn't find that anywhere in the rulebook on the differences between the terrain types. But mountains literally just don't produce as much food. You can see they produce a lot, infrastructure's still fine, but it's way less base food. So that's why building your food network in a mountain is a terrible idea. We're going to need to rethink some of our choices here. This province is going to have to rely on somebody else for food. Maybe one of these. We'll reorganize Raetia later. We're working on Cisalpania. But oh my god, that's a revelation. So Rhodus, you say, if you blockade them completely, they'll starve, but only if I have troops on... Well, it looks like, actually, I didn't realize. They're being sieged by the Epirates. I don't yet have an army on the land there. They're not going to starve. Let's ignore the presence of the Epirates for a moment. They're not going to starve if I just blockade the ports and there's no army besieging the city, right? There also has to be an army besieging the city. But otherwise, yes, I know what you're trying to say there. Interesting. Why is this a 6 and a 6? Oh, because it's hills and not mountains. Ah, gotcha. Okay. Mountains get the biggest penalty for food. Do hills still get a penalty? Doesn't seem like it. I think 6 is the base. I mean, that's 8 because it's also got all these other bonuses and stuff. It's really annoying that the base numbers that you read are always modified by the percent bonuses. I wish they wouldn't do that. Like, if you want to do that, then, like, say, food, 6, parentheses, 8, where the parentheses represents the modified bonus, the modified total. Even if it's a penalty, it could say modified 3 because there's, you know, currently they've got the temporary just conquered benefit or penalty or whatever. All right. All these look much more organized. The Alps have an open slot. I think we're looking for an infrastructure thing, don't you? A nice infrastructure project that isn't a deep iron mine. Let's get large walls instead. This area doesn't have a loyalty issue, so I don't think I need a religious building. It looks like this is going to be a cultural or infrastructure area, but yeah, okay, we'll build the charcoal pile. I could build a granary in the mountains. Turns out, though, kind of a waste of a slot. We don't want to do that. What are mountains good for, then? I guess culture? Maybe, ooh, a bloomery is quite a few good things. Let's take it. Infrastructure, commerce. All of those seem to be mostly unaffected by the fact that they're in the mountains. A granary here in the plains does seem like a pretty good option for this. But this is all plains, really. The capital should have a weapons manufacturer and some other red buildings. Stables here would allow the capital to focus on other better red buildings. So let's do that. This isn't a terrible plan, especially because the municipum adds a decent amount of infrastructure. It gets bonuses from tools and weapons. I wish we could build these more. But they just kind of randomly seem to appear. I don't know what causes the colonia to be. Ah, we know what we want here. The mill would be good to help Rome. Alternatively, we could give ourselves a health bonus to help growth in this region. Or a loyalty bonus, which is definitely not necessary. Let's cycle this. I think we can get a better health building here. Oh, it can be upgraded to sewers, though. Sewers are really good, as I recall. So maybe we get the sanitation and upgrade it to sewers in the future. So here, this is our infrastructure building for the capital, which is really necessary. But a sacred estate is also good. We'll come back to that. So we haven't set up Sicily yet, but a tribunal is a no-brainer. So this is hills. In this province, actually, there aren't any mountains. Okay, these are all hills. It'd be nice if it was easier to tell from the main map. So we have one that's pretty dedicated to this, another that's pretty dedicated to this. Yeah, everybody's already kind of dedicated to that. We do not need this one to also be dedicated to infrastructure. Instead, this could be food. Yeah, let's do that. And up here, apparently this is a food base. We're not really build anything that's but food bed. Let's do a school. We'll come back to it after we rejigger everything around. Irrigation system. It's an upgrade, so let's do it. A temple conversion bonus. Not a bad idea. It's an upgrade from a slot, from a building that doesn't take a slot. I'm not sure that's necessary now. If this was like much lower italic citizenship, I might consider that. As it is, I think what I need to do is get the brickwork so that I have 3 infrastructure buildings. That's kind of, you know what? When I'm developing these outer regions that I just conquered, I really should focus on getting the 3 infrastructure buildings first. It'll import tin, which is local. Theater's better, and there are better things for this, like wheelmaker, brickwork, charcoal pile. Those are all better than a tin mine for infrastructure, but they don't give metal. We have a lot of metal. We're okay on metal. Ooh, Preceptor House is something I always got to consider. Here's the 3rd infrastructure building here, so we can build regional roads there soon. This guy, green. Also green. Palisade is hard to turn down as a beginning structure. A farm is free food. That means I don't have to have the... Yeah, I think we got to get the palisade here. And large walls or a large farm. Large farm is more likely to come back around than large walls. Ooh, a major harbor here is pretty good. Shipyard level 2. That'll probably let us build... I don't know if that'll let us build heavy Corvus warships, but it'll definitely let us build regular Corvus warships. And having one other area up here on the coast is probably a good idea. And it's just reusing a slot. Big siege resistance. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Is that it? That's it. All right. I finally feel like I'm going to be able to go through the buildings faster now that I can more easily remember what each region is supposed to be doing. All right, let's see how our war progresses over here. Hopefully we can catch these guys out before they merge to make a bigger fleet, because they had an absolutely massive fleet in our first battle. So this is the assault on the city, which still has walls 2 of 3. I did want to check and see exactly. So terrain defense 4. What does that mean? Because I don't know what that means. Because if you look, they only get terrain defense 3. And that's always the case. It'll say something up here that's different from this. So I guess the terrain defense, this is maybe hills. So that maybe gets them a terrain defense of 1. And the 2 walls give them terrain defense of 2. Maybe. I don't know. Either way, I think we're going to crush them. Because we have a better general and better units. And they have very few hit points. That's the main disadvantage of these urban guys. Even if they've got the city defender and... Oh, the city defender, too, might be the main benefit of the walls. What is the terrain there? It's a hill. Anyway, what did we catch? We caught the other army over here. This should be, yeah, big old plain battle. We are very good at these. And we really should have this auxilia up here. Why is the auxilia always in the back? I guess auxilia really is supposed to be a skirmisher. I thought it was a frontline unit. They're still going to get crushed, I think. It might be a draw. Unless we can do that a couple more times. Hey! Yeah, baby! Oh, their regular infantry only has a total of 4 points, and they're already weak. Ooh, they got our Celtic Cav. Damn it. That's going to be hard to get a replacement for. They got them too. Ugh. I don't know what the provincial... Oh, yes, we caught those bastards. Chunk. This is going to be a complete blowout for them. They're not even going to get... Nope, 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 nope. Yep. We lost those 2 on the flanks. Were they small, light... 2 light warships. So, we'll build a couple more light warships to replace them, and now we've got a good fleet that can help guard this coast. The Bretone. Oh, gosh, they're going to want stupid nonsense, aren't they? No, I'm not doing that. The Pontus want to... Yeah, cooperation, sure. We don't want to fight you guys. We've almost got enough money. Do we want to sell more men? Yeah, we're still over the limit. So we'll do it one more time. I don't think we want to go selling our metal anymore. Alright. So, this Vanguard army, I don't think they took any hits at all. Our other army, however, is short of cavalry. So we're just going to have to replace them with medium skirmishing cavalry. For a future turn. What is this? A Pontic army is attacking them. Oh, well, I don't care about that. You can have it. So this army is actually going to be out of... Oh, we lost a general again. Jesus Christ. These generals are dropping like flies. We don't want to catch them this time. We're going to fall back and regroup here. This should be in supply because it's adjacent to an area we control with plenty of food. The reason that it's showing the tattered banner here is because at the end of this turn, they will take effectiveness hits because they're not adjacent to a province that is friendly. So we're just going to pull back. Group up with our other navy just in case. So we conquered this region. What can we build there? Loyalty bonuses. Wow, we don't even need them. The Hellenic people just don't mind being conquered. It's not a big deal. They're still very loyal. What is the base region loyalty based on? I gotta go read that up. I don't remember. Welfare is, I'm almost certain, have to do with these citizens? No. It has to do with your culture production, I think. But I don't know why we're still getting any welfare at all. Or is welfare the... No, structures is 8. Can't tell you. Anyway, what are our options for this region? We could get a barracks, which would help us for training troops here, which actually seems like a pretty good idea, to be honest. I don't think we want money. Here we finished a palisade. That's good. Can we upgrade it? Yes, we can. Let's do it. So the legions that we have garrisoning this, we might not need them right now for garrison. Instead, let's split them off and have them come over here and build limes so that there's no sneaky Sneakerton sneak attacks here. We've already got limes built here. We now have 2 more regions we need to build the limes in. So we'll use those other legionaries to do that. Over here, let's check this army and see. Not yet. So it's been sitting in Rome for a while, but it has not yet gained those defensive benefits. Well, some of them did. How many? One of them has. So I guess we got to leave it in Rome for a few more turns, minimum. This has paved roads. This still hasn't grown enough. So yeah, our paved road network finally reaches out to here and here, but not here. Growth in 25 turns. Ugh. That sucks. This whole region is pretty slow to grow, I believe. I'm going to leave those guys on food for now just because I need this to grow. What that really means is I need to specialize one of these non-mountainous areas, which basically means these 3 on food. Oops. What did I do? I didn't want that. So this should definitely be food. This should be food, and or this should not be food, apparently. So these 2 have got to have all the food production. That means no infrastructure. So do this. And then we'll focus. Yeah, this looks good here. This is going to be food and what? These 3 could be infrastructure for all I care. It appears like we've kind of made it that way. This one could wind up being commerce, actually. Odd that this one is so small in population. It's getting the lion's share of the food, I bet. Right, if we look at this. Oh, here is where it is. Plus 85. This is only getting 10 because it's already bigger. Nope, they're the same. Why are they getting different numbers? I'll never understand. Maybe it distributes to forests more. Gosh, I wish I could figure that out. Okay. Did I just buy 600 man with 2k money? Did I choose the wrong option there? Yes, I did. I wanted the other option. No, I didn't. I wanted neither of those options. Get out of here. Oh, I picked the wrong one. Okay. Thank you for that. I thought that was the sell iron thing. What I want is to see what changing our civilization society can bring us. Right now we're aristocratic. We can make it different. We can make it better. Okay. So that's done. What's the next region we can go to? Over here, these mountains can't be our food producers. They just can't. They can't. It has to be these 2 guys. Except that this one has apparently got huge structure benefits. So let's fix that. We don't need those. We got to open those slots up for food-based buildings. What are the other options there? Cultural site. Damn it all to hell. Yeah, okay, Fine. Damn it. All right, over here, we do need to just take all these guys and do this. Money. Maybe this could just be a cultural food, and this one could be a food money. I don't know if it's better for money. No, these are on the border. Those don't make great money options. These can be like infrastructure money or something. Same here. Somehow we got 8% modifiers from food in the mountains, but it's not good. It's still not good. There we go. Are we starving here? We're not starving. We can still make an irrigation system, even though it's in the mountains. It boggles the mind. A preceptor house here would not be bad. Let's take the iron mine for the money. It's not a deep iron mine. It's a regular iron mine. Oh, it's because one of our health buildings also gives a % food bonus, isn't it? Yeah, that's okay. All right, so that's good. This is good. This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world, but this is not good. We could make this a money district. And we still want 1 or 2 people in culture, just to get that 5,000 a little bit sooner. So we have nobody food, eventual money, and a little bit of culture. A little less conversation, a little more action. Okay. So that's 1 more region down and correctly organized. A sawmill is often valuable because it's way better than the other lumber option. But we've got lumber in both adjacent areas, so we don't need a sawmill unless we want to turn this into an actual infrastructure building in this region. We can get rid of wood cutting here, and we can get rid of... We've already got a sawmill there. Little more time, a little less funk, a little more something and drunk, a little more that satisfy me. All right, I don't know. This is a difficult, annoying choice. I know that we don't want these guys to be on food. Not in the woods when there's plains nearby that can have... What is it, the building that you can't have... Large farms? Is that the only one you can't have on plains? I can't remember. But I'm going to go ahead and just start the organization here a little bit. Yeah, these 2 will feed the rest of the province, basically. Now, what will the other province parts do? Who knows? It could be anything. It could even be a boat. Build a sawmill for the 3rd, at least, here, regardless. And over here, a palisade or clear water. Let's get the clear water first. This area that we conquered really doesn't have any major problems here. A bank. A bank. Is this one of our money areas? It is. It's going to be a money area. That's a good money area. Down here we know we want food. We want infrastructure. Yeah. And we want some culture potentially. Ooh. A dry dock is also shipyard level 2, but we already have shipyard level 2. Didn't we just build it? A major harbor gives shipyard level 2. So I don't think we want a dry dock. This isn't going to be the primary place we build it anyway. Oh, Preceptor House for Decadence Reduction. Yes, please. Farms in the hills. It's possible. This looks like we've turned this into our culture area. So we want to do, and when it comes to this region, we've got better food places, so let's use those for food. And let's use this for culture and money. Furnace, blacksmith, yeah, let's build a crafter district here. This is part of that same region. We want to focus one of these on food. It might as well be this one. Over here, different region, but one of these three has to be food. We have to feed the people. Ooh, is that 15% from structures? Yeah, okay, so there's one food. Here's definitely food. Here, I guess, could be food and infrastructure, with a little bit down in culture just for fun. We should not be building a clay pit when we have better options, like a warehouse or a builder's hall. So we'll build a flax field here for now to help the growth, or a sanitation to help the growth. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Up here, we have organized this as a food producer. So building a farm seems like a good play. We finally finished those roads here. And this is not what we want. We want to clear out this bonus. We have too many cooks. Too many cooks, too many cooks. 19 for increased decadence of 0.2. That seems bad. I'm going to cycle this and look for something better, or I can get a preserved food store, which does give money and a lot of health. Yep, that's a good pick. All right, here we need food or money. A hospital? Nah. Amphitheater is a green upgrade, though, so let's take that. Won't cost us a slot. Down here, we know we're food and infrastructure, but this has also got some, you know, decent alternatives. Let's do that. Now we can consider, we don't want to make this a trade center. I don't think this has a lot of trade goods that are made only here. Tools, papyrus, lumber, the cattle. 66 money, though. Holy moly. Right? Does this have to be our infrastructure place? Couldn't we have other better infrastructure places? Let's make this our money place. And we'll just get rid of the Builders Guild, like we've been doing in other places. We apparently have one here, and I don't know why we have some infrastructure here and some infrastructure here. This is the place that should have none. There we go. Now we're better organized across the region. We've got 3 that are infrastructure. That should be 0 food. Except they still have some bonuses to food. Damn it. Well, but the bonuses to food here are 13%. That's not big. So let's do that. Okay. Now, Campania doesn't have any bonuses to food. It shouldn't be doing that at all. Brutium. How are we on food on the province? 637's okay. So we're going to leave Brutium as like a jack of all trades, I guess. Well, no. I guess it is. 22%. Yeah, Brutium needs to stay as an infrastructure area. Otherwise, we're in big trouble. So let's do this here. Yeah, that'll be better. Now we can focus 3 for food, 3 for infrastructure, a lot of them for commerce. And then a lot have at least some culture. There we go. Okay. Now that I've done that, let's organize what we're thinking of doing here. Not a builder's guild. Nope, not a builder's guild. But a trade center, yes. Actually, it does make sense for us here. Ooh, a scriptorum would play right into our hands. Pretty well. Now, did we not organize these? 55, 16. This is not our food producer. This is. So this should not be producing food. Instead, it should be building lots and lots of money. And maybe infrastructure? The food has to be really big food. So now that we know this is mostly money, a crafter district seems like not a terrible way to go. But if we wait, we might get a trade center before we get the crafter district, which would be great for our money output. So maybe we get a wash house first. 35% is kind of low on health, so let's do that. Now down here we know we were dangerously low on loyalty, but it's better now. Tools manufacturer is an upgrade or irrigation canals for a big percent increase. Yep, irrigation canals. We're going to make this our food area. On the other side, we have also made food, but mainly infrastructure and culture. What is this? Horologium? Strange devices. An important extension of the academy which will make great use of tin, glass, and copper for various devices. There, the more scientific philosophers will design solar quadrants, astronomical mobiles, and even analog computers as the Antikythera mechanism. I think we want this because strange devices is probably a modifier that allows certain events to fire. Hey, Black Corp. I actually like this a lot better than Imperator. Imperator is disappointing me on a number of levels. I'll probably go back to it again the next time there's a major big release on a new patch or something and try it again, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be disappointed again. Let me sell you this for a moment. Imperator, like most of the Paradox games, is kind of just a map painter, and that kind of rings hollow in a lot of ways to me as a player that likes to play for a specific goal. I like to optimize my thing for a specific goal. And optimizing for map painting is kind of repetitive and boring. And once you get to a certain point when it comes to map painting, it's like I stop getting the urge to boot up the game anymore. Or I want to restart it in a different place because it's all just downhill from there, right? Same thing when you get to too big in EU4, it's basically impossible to stop you. There's no challenge left. You're just going through the motions of finishing as much as you can before the end of the date. And yes, that's technically a challenge to be as precise, but I don't like that micromanagement stuff. I like the macro management stuff. And here's the way this game works. It does give you a very specific goal. Have the most legacy out of all the nations in the game by the year 190 CE. And if you're ever the leader and you have triple the amount of legacy of the person in second place, you just outright win. The game is over. You don't have to go through the motions all the way to the end. Instead, you can just say, listen, nobody's going to catch me because I have 26,000 and the closest person is 8,000. In this case, that's not true, but that way I definitely win, no problem. The other thing they point out, don't have to survive to the end of the game in order to win. You could get a ton of legacy in the middle of the game by playing fast and loose and risky and then fall apart due to civil war because of your reckless behavior, but that doesn't matter. You still made so much legacy during your high time. It was great for you. The other thing that this game does that not enough games do is that it really makes it hard to be both big and stable. Which, if you're modeling this period, you have to have. Now, I would argue it doesn't go far enough, but at least it has a mechanism for stability, in a sense. And that's this progress and decadence situation. So the way that this works is you take your historical cultural output. This is the cultural output of all of your areas. And it's divided by your decadence. So how do they come up with these numbers? So the current loyalty-weighted cultural production there is 8393. So what that means is if we look at any given region, let's say this one is producing 189 culture from buildings and from guys that have assigned to culture, right? You take that and you multiply it by the loyalty. In this case, it's 109. So you multiply it by 109%, 1.09. So this is producing a little bit more than, like 10% more than 189. So it's like it's almost 200-ish, right? A little over 200. If we look at a different one with lower loyalty, maybe one I just conquered has lower loyalty. Here we go. This is 2 culture times 93%. So it's a little less than 2. So that's how loyalty-weighted culture works. So the more loyalty and the more culture you have, the more you get on this big top number. That's good. You want more. Decadence is, and by the way, that 8393 is your current averaged with the average of your last 25 turns. And what that does is it makes it so that if you produce a bunch of buildings in the same turn that give you a bunch of extra culture, it doesn't just shoot you up and down and then you destroy some and then you conquer some areas that gives lower and you lost some areas that give you less. It doesn't just go woo, woo, woo back and forth like 1,000 at a time. Instead, because it's doing the average of current and the average of the last 25 turns, it's slow to change. Building a bunch of cultural buildings doesn't, boom, instantly make you better. Losing a bunch of territory that produced culture doesn't, boom, instantly make you worse. It's an average of an average, so it does, over time, get closer to where you were in the last 25 turns. Okay. But that divided by your current decadence gives you this ratio. And I'll come back how you make decadence in a second. But this ratio is then compared against all of the other factions in the game currently. Your ratio versus their ratio, and you're ranked. So right now, the Usroni have the best ratio of anybody in the game. That might mean that doesn't mean they have a huge amount of culture. It means their culture to decadence ratio is better. Maybe they're a 4-to-1 because they have 450 culture output and like 115 decadence or something, right? That's what that means. So a 1 province minor can usually do a pretty easy job of dealing with this ratio, and it can allow them to grow and progress. But what does this actually do? Well, all these nations in green, they're in the top third of this culture to decadence ratio ranking. And if you're in the top third, you have a 1 in 3 chance of gaining a progress token every turn that you're in the top third. If you're in the middle third here, these white nations, including me at the moment, you have no chance of either progressing or regressing. But if you're in the bottom third, you have a chance to regress. And that is a very cool system. It means that at any given time, a third of the nations, the weakest third in this cultural, governmental, corruption sort of measure, are regressing. and descending towards some kind of a civil war, right? And at any given time, a third are climbing out of a chance towards a civil war and going towards the state of gloriousness, potentially the state of a next higher level of civilization. There are 3 tiers of civilization. Unfortunately, it doesn't do a good job of visualizing them in here, but if I go here, you can kind of see the results, right? So imagine there's 3 good statuses for your government and 3 tiers. So there's tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Within each of those tiers, there's young empire, young government, stable government, and glorious government, right? So if you're young and you get 5 progress tokens because you've hung out in that top third long enough, you go from young to stable. Young and stable are pretty much the same. When you get 5 more in stable, you go to glorious. When you're glorious, you get all these bonuses. Loyalty bonus, legacy gain increase, which is the big one. That gives you more victory points. Your leaders get better. You get a reduction in experience required for your units to level up. Everything's going great, except your decadence gain is massively increased. 35% increase on your decadence gain from all sources. So we haven't talked about how you get decadence, but that makes it harder to stay glorious. The other thing that happens when you're glorious is you get this status age penalty. This is a penalty that increases every turn. Right now my status age is 46. That's like 46 times 3%, I think. 46 times 3, take that number, that's the percentage increase in my decadence. So it's like 130-ish percent extra decadence. That's what this status age penalty represents. So every turn, I'm getting an extra 3% compounding on top of my previous turn. So how do you get rid of this status age? It goes up 1 per turn. It goes down by 20% whenever you conquer an objective area, which are assigned randomly to you. Right now I have 2 in northern Germany, Rhodes is 1, and 1 in Ptolemaic Egypt is 1. You can kind of rejigger those to try to get a better option if you don't like what you're doing, but the reason I'm at war right now is to try to capture Rhodes, who are allied with the Egyptians. So you've got all that going for you. You can reduce this status age by 20% when you capture an objective. Otherwise, it just goes up forever, and your decadence goes up compounded interest-wise forever, making it harder and harder to stay glorious. Also, the other way to get rid of that status age, by the way, is to change your government status. So if you progress to, if you progress from young to stable, it cuts down your status age by 50%. If you progress from stable to glorious, it cuts down your age by 50%. So every time you change your government status, it makes it easier. But not when you go to glorious. When you're in glorious, you just gotta hope you can stay there and work towards it. Lower your decadence as much as possible. Avoid anything that gives you more decadence, and build as much culture as you can to ride out being glorious as long as possible. Because if you regress to a new type of status. Old empires are, this is only now they get a loyalty penalty of 10. They have an infrastructure penalty, which means your buildings are going to start to crumble. You get less hammers, so you can't maintain them. You have to build more hammers in order to build buildings faster. Manpower penalty, commerce penalty, all bad things. But your status age goes down, which makes it easier to climb back out of this old age. If you, however, still have problems, and you go from old, you go to decadent. You're a decadent empire. And decadent has the same penalties as old age, but they're worse. It's even harder now to climb out. But you lost another 50% of your decadence, or your that status age penalty. So that makes it easier to climb back. And if you're decadent and you still can't climb out, that leads to a civil war back to a stable empire. So you become stable again, losing 50% more decadence, but it also causes a civil war to erupt. So that's the cycle. If you're decadent and you want to avoid a civil war, you go to a stable empire in the previous tier. So you actually would drop down from an empire to a monarchy, tier 2 civilization. Which is bad because being in tier 3, you get some free legacy per turn. You want to be in tier 3 if you can. So that's how the cycle works. Young, stable, glorious. Then from glorious, if you stay glorious, you get to go to a golden age. If you fall, you go to decadent. If you succeed in climbing out of decadence, you go back to stable and then back to glorious. If you fall from decadent, you go to glorious to old, then old to decadent if you keep falling. But the fact that you don't, this isn't a strict ladder. You don't go up in the same order you go down is a really cool concept. Anyway, that's my argument for why this is cool. However, I think I'm playing on too easy a difficulty level in the end, because so far I've had very little trouble. There was a couple times it was touch and go, but I basically conquered all of this Germania and all of Gallia at basically the same time within 50 years. Didn't really have any unruly settlements or anything. Oh! Speaking of civil wars, the Egyptians have one. They're a monarchy now! Huh! Look at that. So, they were a decadent empire in tier 3, and they got too many bad things happening. So now all of the areas in Ptolemaic Egypt that were below a certain loyalty level have revolted. And areas adjacent to those have lower loyalty because of the adjacent areas revolting. So that can be a chain reaction if they don't watch out. The reason I went after Ptolemaic Egypt is to slow them down in the legacy, and it looks like it might have worked, because maybe they had to bankrupt themselves trying to fight me. The other reason was I wanted roads. Okay, all that having been said, let's figure out our other situations here. Money means a bank. Yeah, bank doesn't come up very often. I also like the fact that the building choices are randomized every turn, because when you have perfect control, there's no governor of the ancient medieval area. It just says, we're going to build a bank there. No, that's just not how it always works. And we're going to build a farm over there. You can't always just choose. The conditions have to make themselves available. Oh, hey, an old guy died, and he left his estate to the city, and now we can build a plantation there, because there's room for one, right? The conditions and events that lead to certain things being easier to do is what is represented by the random possible options. There's always one food, one health, one infrastructure, one military, one commerce, and one cultural/loyalty option, but they're random. And new random possibilities open up when you've opened up certain buildings. You're right, Rome may be a little OP. So maybe playing Rome and not increasing the difficulty enough. I jumped it up one step from the default. This is my first game. I didn't want to be overwhelmed, but so far I'm not having that problem, which is why I'm expanding at a much more rapid pace to try to give myself some more challenges. I want to try to win by tripling the closest enemy instead of getting all the way to the year, 190 CE, which is turn 500, I believe. Okay, let's see what the gods have brought us here. Oh, next turn I want to be focused on what's going on over here, though. So we should conquer one more area from them. And we're sieging down another. Ooh, we found an army that was mustering, and damn. This is going to be a big sea battle. They came in to chase us, and we led them right into our second fleet. This is going to be no question. If you want to get a little better idea on how the combat system works, it's basically got all these different modifiers. The circles represent effectiveness, which is something you can lose first when you're out of supply, or you take hits from ranged combat, like that range mode we just saw. That hits only effectiveness. When your effectiveness is gone, it weakens your actual combat ability. When your hit points are gone, you die. So effectiveness are like temporary hit points that you don't lose combat prowess on. The other thing that you see here is I've got +1 support because I've got a ship behind me that's in support. They don't have enough to fill the back line and the front line, so they don't get the support bonus. Then you roll d10s based on your general. He's attacking. You always roll 1 d10. And then your leader is either a 1 leader or a 2 leader. In this case, he's a 0. He's a 0 on attacking, so he rolls no extra dice. I'm a 2 on defense, so I roll 2 extra dice, which is the massivest bonus you can get. It's a huge difference. And the minimum roll comes from Unstoppable. I'm not actually sure what that might be, a actual thing what the unit has. Veterancy and, it's the effectiveness. Yeah, Unstoppable. 4 pips means you get 4 to your minimum roll, I believe is the case. We'll see if we have any of our smaller ships do that. And if the battle ends and there's not a clear winner, you go to another round of combat. And there's flanking and stuff involved. One more thing about this, if you'd rather fight the battles yourself, the same company makes another game called Field of Glory 2, and you can export the combat to that game, fight the combat, and then import it back into this. It takes a lot longer, and apparently the AI in that game is not great, so it feels like cheating to go and do it that way, because you can win even when you're way outnumbered. That's what I've read anyway. But it's possible. Maybe you crank up the difficulty in Field of Glory 2, I don't know. But yeah, this is a no-brainer. We're going to win this because of the support bonus and the much bigger, better general. And this is very similar to what land combat looks like, but that is usually much tighter because of terrain. Anyway, we won that. Crushed them all. In the pursuit phase, you'd get a lot bigger battle too. So here is a land battle. You can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 width because it's a hilly area. Forest is 6. Marsh is 3, I think, and mountains, or maybe marsh is 4 and mountains are 3. But yeah, fighting in rough terrain is really, really hard to kill a defender. Now, this is almost all urban militia because it's crappy units that are defending the city. But we'll see how we do. I don't think they have a general. So you can see these guys only have 2 hit points and 1 effectiveness, so they are going to be exhausted very easily by all of our ranged units, which the Roman legions are included in that. There we go. And you can see these are the only guys that didn't get targeted and exhausted, so they are fresh and experienced, which increases their minimum roll. Minimum rolls really only apply if you don't have a 3 dice being rolled. If you have 3 dice being rolled, it's incredibly unlikely that you roll less than a 6 or 7. So my 7 minimum roll generally doesn't matter because the leader is going to be rolling 2 dice, so he's got a very good chance of rolling at least a 5 with those 2 dice. Now, this is going to be the only toss-up in the entire thing, I think, because it's quite even. Very, very even, actually. We rolled all 9s. So you can see when you get a stalemate, both sides take an effectiveness hit and a hit point hit. This next one, though, way in our favor. 1, because they're exhausted. They don't have any effectiveness less. That means -1 to their main combat rating. Number 2, because their support bonus is much smaller. Actually, mine is smaller because if the archers were supporting, it would be better. But we still have a much better combat value. So this is going to be a brutal, brutal destruction. Yeah. The rest of this is going to be like that. Now, if that guy hadn't died, because I outflanked him, the sides are always reserved for cavalry. So if you don't have any, you got a problem. Meanwhile, the cavalry was put in the middle here because they didn't have enough frontline good troops. They had only the urban militia, which are skirmishers. Oh, wow. So they went to the back line and killed that. Okay, that's good too. We won. We did the pursuit phase, did some more damage, but we took the area here. And for some reason, there's a remnant of that army, which is now dead. So we've taken quite a bit. Bark, a bark, a bark, a bark. We might be ready to take Rhodes and sue for peace with Egypt and just keep the areas that we've taken. I didn't actually get into what causes decadence increases. You get decadence from building buildings. Certain buildings give you decadence. Specifically ones that give you a ton of culture or a ton of loyalty. Sure. We do want to go and look in our decisions. We'll give amnesties because that's cheap and free and can reduce stuff. Here we could sell 1,000 manpower for money and still have way more than we need. Now, we have an aristocratic elite which gives a leader forcible bonus of +3 but increases our decadence gain by 10. We have a decision that lets us change our civilization and society. This says we will now gain the aristocratic qualifier, losing our current qualifier. The cost of such a profound change in society, achieved through a series of laws, decrees. Cost will be lower if you've built additional Tier 2 and Tier 3 culture buildings. What does the aristocratic government qualifier do? I wish it would tell me. I guess I can guess. So aristocratic seem to be about military general, better generals, which we definitely need. I don't want to change that. Although that was called aristocratic elite. Is that the same? And then we've got the merchant, which probably increases our trade acumen and our trade range, maybe. Or maybe a commerce bonus. And warriors qualifier. Interesting. I don't know what that does. Industrious qualifier probably increases our infrastructure output, would be my guess. I'd like to play around this. I'm going to save and like try these out, but I'm just really annoyed that it doesn't tell you exactly what it's going to do because I'm going to lose one of the things that I actually like. I don't want to lose this because I like having more leaders available. Unfortunately, our current emperor is a bad military leader, so that kind of affects us negatively. But what I'm going to do is save it here, and then for tomorrow, I will look through those options, and save scum just to see what they are, and then make an informed decision instead of guessing. But for now, oh, there you go. Thank you, Radical Hippo. 20% industry, but -5 health. Makes sense. All right. For that, with that, I'm going to head out. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I am Bridger, and we'll see you tomorrow, 10:30 Eastern Time. We'll pick it up again.